me something good.
Hey, tell me that you like it.
Yeah, that part,
Yes.
Noon.
That's going to be our topic, too. Tell me something good. And telling you something good is telling you something about me.
There you go.
It's telling you something about me.
There you go.
And I think that telling you something good is telling you what's important.
Right. So what's important?
What's important in this topic, in this space, in many other spaces, is my truth. My truth.
That's always something good.
And, since we're on the topic, I know I've said this and this is why I'm here, but it's just like I haven't said it in a long time to somebody. I'm Noonday and I'm HIV positive.
Oh.
I just thought I'd say it. It was just a good time to say it,
Well, thank you for that. And so with that, welcome to the A.
Welcome to the A. That's what's up.
I'm Yaya Dawn, and this is
Noonday.
And our topic for this evening is HIV disclosure after 50.
Yes.
Who, when, and how? Or better yet, what was it? What did you call it?
What, telling you something good?
It has something to do with tea.
Oh, it's good. Well, I put it in a slang, pouring my tea after 50.
Pouring my tea after 50.
Yes, so that's how I feel about it because I am telling you my business,
Yeah.
Um,
I love how you just, like you, I'm not going to lie though. I felt like I wanted to say thank you for sharing.
Right, that's good, I did have to share that, and that is sharing.
Yes, it is.
That is sharing. I think that when we disclose that in different situations, because it's not a common disclosure across the board to me.
Right.
It's not like right here, I feel safe. I feel like it's appropriate. And I feel like it needs to be said, At times when I was younger, I knew that how HIV, because, I'm a stump the stigma type of cat.
I know.
So I just pulled my tea. Girl, you either gonna, I used to say this, girl, you gonna suck it or not. Was my whole thing. Girl, you gonna suck it or not? I just, what's gonna go down?
Okay.
I
love it.
I mean, you're gonna eat it up or not? I mean, what's the tea? So I think pouring my tea after 50 has changed a little. I just don't I have to be comfortable with it. And because, like I told you, we're not getting everybody tea on other topics.
Exactly. we were going to talk about that.
We're going to get to that.
But before we do, I just want to pour a little fact for you right here from the Journal of Aging and Health 2021. Older adults, that's us.
That's us.
People like us, are less likely to disclose their HIV status to partners, family, or friends. So, Noonday. Now let's get into that topic that we were about to discuss when you said pouring our tea. So basically, when should we pour our tea? Well,
it also keeps us healthy because we talked about that. Sharing is caring.
Yes, it is.
And I think when I was younger, I was such an advocate, and I was such a stigma stomper, and I was wild, and I was out there. I would just pour my tea, period.
Right.
Girl, this is what it is. Just to let you see that I'm so thriving right here in this moment, and I'm positive. And that was important to me, and that helped me live. And
Definitely.
It helped you know who was for you and who was against you.
But during that time, baby, it was like early diagnosis for me, other than my family, I didn't believe that. I believed that everybody else was against me. I can share with you that, so there was an event. There was an event that happened.
Talk about it, little sister. Talk about it.
Okay. There was this dude that, I wanted him. I wanted him bad. And so I didn't disclose my status to him until after the deed was done.
Right.
That man tried to damn near kill me. And from that, I said, Lord, if you get me out of this, I will always disclose my status, whether I was afraid of being rejected. Because if somebody didn't want me because of that, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not supposed to say words like that. I apologize. But forget them. Because I'm more than my diagnosis.
Yes.
And honestly, Noon, if I'm really real with you, disclosing my status to potential partners didn't stop a thing.
Right. I know.
Right? I know you do. Your big
I know,
buck self.
right.
But did you fear rejection?
Well, I did a couple of times on a couple of issues, but it was important that I did that. I did that so that I was leading by example.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you was brave like me, because I always told you, you always knew that I was super brave. I wasn't your average Joe, so I wasn't scared of you mugs. I really wasn't. And so I just I pulled my teeth. And it put me in a position where everybody knew, and it also put me in a position where I was rejected a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt myself feeling hot and lonely, but I think it's been times where I had pulled my teeth and it helped me. Okay. It really did help me. In situations with with a group of people that was clearly not my friends, and I still told them. And they later came to tell me, you know what, that was really brave of you. Mm-hmm. And how do you get help? Where did you go? So this is what the CDC says from their National HIV Behavioral Surveillance in 2022, that fear of rejection or loss of support remains the top barrier to disclosure. Now, they didn't put an age limit on that or, an age specificity, but so I'm taking this to mean that just in general, people who are living with HIV, whether they're newly diagnosed, whether they're aging, whether they're thriving, that the fear of rejection is what keeps them from sharing their status or disclosing their status. That's why I'm glad I got that out the way. Mm-hmm. I got that out the way early on in my life, becoming HIV. When I became HIV, I just knew instinctively it was going to be I had to be brave in this situation. That I had to jump out there. And that was a part of me stomping the stigma at an early age. Mm-hmm. I knew that I had to survive this. I knew that eventually they were going to find out. So I went and pulled my own teeth. And at an early age, I was doing that when nobody was doing that. I was positive when it wasn't cool. When it wasn't cool to be positive. It was not cool to be positive in the 90s. And I let my friends know that, and my closest friends knew that. And then I felt like disclosing my information with people that I knew and people that I didn't know, it was just powerful. That part. It empowered me. It really did. For me, being that person that says, I am. This is who I am. And this is how I am going to navigate this. Being openly, I've always lived my life openly gay and openly HIV. Because that's who I am. Now, there has been a time where it was just not I felt it was not safe for me. In an unregulated prison, in 1994, when there was no HIPAA laws being enforced when I was in prison, and nobody gave gays protection for being HIV, and you got guys all around you shooting at you, want to do all sorts of things, and then they find out you positive, and you in a cage with them. Oh, yeah. I did not feel like that, and that cost me. To be real, it cost a life that I didn't disclose that I was positive, and it really chokes me up sometimes when I think about the story that I was in a relationship in prison And my boyfriend at the time, I don't have the facts that he contracted HIV from me,
Right.
but I lived with the stigma or the thoughts of me not telling him that I was positive is in him coming out of prison, HIV, and he did not go in. And we dated and messed around while we was in prison for 4 years. And him coming out, not knowing how to handle HIV, you know, he wasn't openly gay in the world, and he was never been positive in the world. Me, I knew how to navigate the streets of being positive already
Right.
before I went in there.
Right.
And also by me knowing that, I knew that I was not going to be there that long. And I felt at that time, with my safety, it was not good for me to say that I was positive in prison. So when he got out of prison with HIV, his girlfriend and his baby mama, they contracted HIV, assumably, from him. And him not knowing how to navigate that, he terminated his life. And so that was a time that I did not disclose that I was HIV, and somebody was hurt and somebody lost their life.
So let me just say this, and this is not to take away from what you're saying. And for our audience,
I'm nervous talking about that.
I can imagine. I definitely can
I
imagine.
am. 'Cause I don't usually talk about that, but
But guess what? The responsibility does not lie solely on your shoulders,
right.
right? It takes two.
Yes, it does.
The only way we can't transmit HIV completely is if we having sex with ourselves. For me,
Right.
that's Bob. But
Right.
anywho, that's why as adults, when we decide to share that part of ourselves with other people, we need to have conversations, not just those of us who are living with it, not just us disclosing our status, but we need to have conversations with our potential partners, because there could be something going on with them that they can transmit to us.
Most definitely.
You know, I like how you told me one time that as living with HIV and being undetectable, I can't share my status with my partner. I'm not gonna transmit HIV with my partner as long as I'm undetectable, right? But if we're trying to get a place together, and you've been locked up how many times, and your credit
Right.
is 300, but you don't share that with me, but it's affecting our living environment or our living arrangements where we could have been living in a penthouse downtown. Now you got me living in this little in a studio that's attached to a house that was 150 years old and looks at it,
Right.
smells it.
And my thing was, by me telling you that, is that they put pressures on us to disclose that we're HIV. Oh, she should have told me that. And you hear when we're doing this work, like you said, when we're doing this work, oh, if it is, I'm going to go home and kill that girl and all of that kind of stuff. But did you tell her facts about your life beyond HIV? Did you tell her you had 3 felonies and bad credit? Did you
Right.
tell her you just, that you done got syphilis 3 times? Did you tell her you had 4 other kids? Or anything? But it seems like when it comes to HIV, we should have and we better and we could have told y'all.
Well, so I'm going to say this. It's a couple of things I'm going to say. One, according to the Health Psychology Journal in 2023, disclosure correlates with higher medication adherence and improved mental health. I have to agree with that. 'Cause
Disclosure to who? Because some of the people that be asking us about wanting us to disclose, they're not going to give me no better medication. They're not going to make me better,
What?
Disclosing, in, like I said before, in safe spaces and to the right people, to somebody that loves and care about you. You don't share things like that to the town's gossip. Let me give you this, and this is something that happened.
Okay.
While out in the field testing, we tested a young lady. She got off the van, and people was waiting outside of the testing van for her status. And And she turned and I told her before she got out the van, baby, put that blue napkin up, dry your tears, or else pour your tea. Because you coming out this van crying, distraught, you know, and the girl asked her, was everything all right? And she said, no. I said, I walked with the girl and I had to ask her, sweetie, why did you do that? This same block that y'all sitting out on, that girl is going to go, and she was already over there whispering in people's ears about that girl's status. So disclosure to the right people. And like I have you to disclose my information too. I have an audience. I've matured in this position to disclose my information.
Right.
People that have not matured in a position of saying, it cannot sit where I sit and stand in my shoes and say, I'm positive. And I'm good with that. And I'm good with you knowing that.
You know what I'm gonna say? Well, first we want to know your thoughts. We want you to comment. How do you feel about disclosing your status? Whether you're on the receiving end, you're the person being disclosed to, or you're the person that is disclosing. How do you feel? But I'm going to say this about disclosure. In the state of Texas, Texas was one of the first states to criminalize HIV, right? They made it against the law to live with HIV.
Basically.
They say that our bodily fluids are a deadly weapon.
Right.
Now, Texas is also the first state to decriminalize HIV, right? So, and what that means is that, well, I'm not going to get penalized, or I'm not going to get charged because I didn't disclose my status to you, right? But, however, at least not anything HIV specific. But we do need to know, y'all, that even though it's not HIV criminalization, there are general laws that can be applied to us that say because your bodily fluids are a deadly weapon, you can still be charged. Now, for that reason, that's something for people to think about when they're thinking about disclosing their status. Listen, I don't want to be in jail because I didn't tell you my status. Hey, y'all, out in YouTube world and social media world, my name is Yaya Don, and I, too, am living with HIV. There, I've said it, it's done. Now, again, we want y'all to like, subscribe, comment. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Tell us about it.
Right, and your tea is your tea. You can pour your tea when it's feasible for you to pour your tea. After all, it's yours. And I think that when you're in a space that you're not too sure about, now if you finna bust it down and you know you infected, I would suggest you pour your tea or keep your legs closed or wear protection or do what you're gonna do. But it's yours to pour. It's yours to pour.
You know what? Some people also, I think we probably passed our time, but I will say this also. A lot of people who are undetectable and they don't feel the need to pour their tea because we know if we're undetectable, we can't transmit it.
Right.
If our partner is on PrEP, they're not going to contract it.
Right. Like I told you, if you're undetectable, it's like saying I don't have dinner at home, but I can give you chicken. Baby, if you didn't fry it, you can't give it.
Hello.
If you don't have a basket of chicken, you cannot give about nobody a thigh. Not anybody.
Not anybody.
So you don't have it. So if it's undetectable, if I can't detect to see if the chicken is in there, then it ain't none.
That part. That part.
Right.
So check this out. Whether you choose to disclose or not, at the end of the day, it's your decision. Having said that, y'all gonna get tired of me. Like, subscribe,
get involved
comment.
with this conversation.
Yeah, we really want to know what are your thoughts.
Yeah, because we've shared with you the ups and downs for sharing, and we share with you the facts of pouring our tea, and who you pour your tea with. Somebody that you're comfortable with, somebody that you trust, because it's your personal business.
And like we both have said, and like we both can attest to, pouring our tea don't stop nothing, does it?
It does not, no.
All right.
What I say, you're going to suck it or not, gal. And next time,
Join us next time.
please.
Welcome to on.
We're
on
gonna
the
keep
8th.
these hot topics like this, these
Yes,
good
we are.
conversations like this. Yes.
Until next time, y'all. We'll see you.